you just say? Well, you won't know, viewers. The Power Hour's back. It's time for the Power Hour.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Power Hour. We're back. Thank you, Bruce, for putting this together, bringing Brian out of retirement again.
Well, you've been calling and begging me for like weeks to bring this back.
I have. Thank you for
it was
joining
the
us
supposed
today.
retirement last time, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm done with this. You can have Brian.
I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm focusing on my own channel. I don't like your audience. They suck.
You're gonna do this right at the beginning of the show, and you're gonna piss me off. You don't be dogging my audience.
I'm not dogging your audience. I'm just speaking facts.
I love
that. Is my perception of your audience.
Well, I have a question though. Is this simulcast?
Come over to Movie Madness Entertainment.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is this simulcast?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so then it's both your audience. Silence.
Yes. Look who's talking, CJH. I think you've retired a few times. 3 months.
No, I think my definition of it works perfectly. I'm on regularly, okay? And I come on when I feel like it. So yeah, I'm retired, son. You should do it too.
He's been sending me links to get a new Dr. Doom mask. I can't find my old one. Wow, Isaac completely ignoring me. Shout out to you too, Isaac. Thanks, Bruce.
Hey,
Brian. What about Matt?
I love Isaac. Isaac has like some of the best takes in your chat. He's one of the better audience members from your channel.
Listen, I love Isaac, but don't encourage the bashing of me, please, because that needs to stop. Please. I love you though, Isaac. I gotta check out some of your content.
Hollywood Bruce for tonight. Let's go.
Oh, we got a hot one tonight. We got a hot one.
Yeah, he was ranting before we even got on.
Man. You don't know what happens behind stage here. I'm like, save it for the stream. I'm done talking to you about this because this is a great topic. This is great for content.
You think so?
Oh no, it definitely is because the main topic. Should we talk about that first?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Or should we do the controversial topic first?
First and foremost, I want to say rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
You're playing a concert up in heaven for my dad right now.
In heaven? Listen, I love the dude, but is it heaven? I don't
care. Okay.
What kind of Christian are you? You're not supposed to judge people.
I'm not a Christian.
Oh, sorry. Okay, judge away.
I'm just saying he was
okay, and
some dark, heavy stuff. Are we assuming he's Ozzy Osbourne's in heaven? Like,
so
I want him to rock on wherever he is.
You can't play a character.
No, you definitely can, but I think I don't think he was just a character.
Ozzy Osbourne was the character. John Osbourne was the man.
Okay, all right. So I want him to rock on wherever he is. You're muted, Bruce.
Well, that's also assuming that my dad's in hell. Thanks, man.
I did not say that. I'm saying, he did all kind of stuff. He was in the dark stuff. We still can't hear you, Bruce. Bruce is just like, what the
hell? I feel like he's just talking.
Are you doing that on purpose?
I think so. Muted himself. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I wanted to give like the effect that
I mean, I'm not no judge.
So
I don't
so
care.
You're saying that
in heaven,
first you say Ozzy, you're assuming Ozzy's not in heaven. Then you're assuming Brian's dad is not in heaven.
I did not even talk about
my God, what kind of friend are you? He's been your friend for years.
Dude, I had the worst birthday yesterday, bro. My birthday was ass. Like seriously, I got in trouble at work today. I just kind of want to forget about things for a little bit.
Monday was Brian's birthday. I hope everybody wished him a happy birthday on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We could.
Okay.
So no, if there is a heaven, I want everyone to go to, but that's not what the
Thank you, Voltaire.
Bible says, right? That everyone's going there. So whatever.
Well,
anyways,
I don't know, Max. Max will fail religion on Jeopardy. Just saying, he would not get a single question right. Oh, look, it's Max's biggest ball handler.
The balls will be handled this Friday night at 11:30 p.m. We're gonna have a ball because hopefully,
you guys are
get
on
all
too
kind
late
of messages
Friday
on
night, man.
Facebook.
You know, one thing I do want to know from Voltaire and Perp are when they finally gonna get a room, because the sexual tension between those two is insane.
Oh my!
I hope so.
Oh my! But as you guys know, the review embargo was lifted from Fantastic Four this week. Well, today, and the reviews are stellar.
That's awesome.
They're fantastic.
But you really can't.
So I see a lot of people out there praising Fantastic Four's critic review scores. The same people a week and a half ago saying that the reviews were bought by Warner Brothers. Double standards much?
I think that's called cope.
Oh, cope. Oh, does that get handed out with being a douchebag or an asshole? Oh, okay, just asking. But let's look.
I think it's a side effect. Yeah,
it's a side effect of being an asshole.
Listen, fanboys are gonna fanboy. It's like that's why I've given up being a fanboy. I'm a fan.
You're not a fanboy.
No,
you
I'm
be
not.
a fan, not a fanatic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm a fan. I love entertainment. I
Hey,
strive.
Kevin. Hi, Bruce, another guy.
Hey,
what's up?
Did someone say paid reviews?
Yeah,
There
I'm
we go.
happy. I'm happy it's getting good reviews. Can we bring them up? Do we have it here?
Sure. I brought up a few we can take a look at. Let me enlarge this for the audience because we have good production values on this show.
On all my shows, thank you.
Sorry.
You cannot stop.
Is that serious?
Oh man, sorry, dude. I got high blood pressure. You shouldn't do that to me, man.
You shouldn't do that, Max. Stop.
Oh man, you're gonna trigger an
All
incident.
right.
Ooh, Kirby film critic. I'm instantly interested, Carla.
Although the first quarter of this film lags a bit from a plot point, in the end, the Fantastic Four is fantabulous fun and will delight audiences, young and old. Vanessa Kirby is badass. Hashtag girl boss, ethereal beauty as Sue Storm. She is the leader of the Fantastic Four. Let's go, Sue Storm, being a girl boss. All right, next up we have
boss me around.
Baz, a movie podcast. The Fantastic Four First Steps is extraordinary. The score is pure magic. The visuals are next level, and the cast chemistry is electric. It's bold. It's fresh. Unlike anything Marvel has done before. This is the next masterpiece.
I've heard that before, though. I've heard that before.
A sharp, emotional, and clever Fantastic Four reboot that proves the MCU has fantastic stories to tell.
I said it.
Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby give sincere, emotional turns, elevating the Fantastic Four First Steps beyond its cornier trappings and shoddy CGI. With Pascal, Marvel has found a viable anchor for the MCU moving forward. Now that's a huge step. Hashtag Hispanic Reed Richards.
We're gonna have so much more Pedro Pascal.
Yes, we are. Pedro for the MCU. Let's go.
Are you done with Pedro too? Is it because he's political?
No, it's because he's in everything, bro. I'm like,
he's not really in everything. This is his first starring role.
There's a big push for Pedro.
You know, he's popular in he's always a supporting cast member in movies.
I know.
You know, streaming, he's the man. We have a super chat from Max Balls Handler. These attacks by perp boys and chatters who read Twitter all day and pretend that they have some insider knowledge must stop. Love you, girls. And he's sending a love you girls to the girls that are tied up in his basement.
Love
Nerdy Geek, how much is Marvel paying y'all to give raving reviews for such an obvious flawed movie? Nerdy Geek is making fun of people last week. That's why he's on my show. Unfortunately, neither a time frame change nor the work of 4 screenwriters can fix the central problem with Fantastic Four movies. With one exception, the team members are colossal bores. The muted pop art colors don't even pop, because the last thing you want from a Fantastic Four movie is for things to get too fantastic.
So he's basically, the main thing he was upset there is the Keller isn't popping enough. That's lame criticism.
Well, you got to read. This is just a quote taken from the full review.
I know it's the main criticism, though, if they take that part of the review.
No, not always, Max.
Okay.
Easily the best Fantastic Four movie. That's not hard to do.
No, I was going to say faint praise.
Firmly upper tier of recent MCU.
That's a
confusing reintroduction of the comic book superheroes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, failing to balance its tone. The movie is just no fun. A lack of camaraderie and chemistry is fatal here.
So it is a DC movie.
Yeah. Even there, Wally, like certain robot, is unsettling, uncharismatic.
That's the criticism that's the constructive criticism I had, is that they weren't very charismatic, Johnny Storm. And I said, and everyone misses this. I said, I hope in the I said in the context of the movie, I hope it works. No, everyone focused on Max is a hater. Max is a hater. I'm like, I love Johnny Storm. I like that he throws quips. One
of my favorite newspapers, the New York Post, Johnny Olinsinski, First Steps marks a slight improvement from the preceding trilogy of terror. But Marvel still can't nail what should be one of its premier attractions. I'll do one more. This is a family-first spectacle with massive stakes, perfect casting, and retro-futuristic vibe that allows this movie to breathe on its own. It absolutely nails the tone and feels so stylistic, dishing out comic references left and right. That will be a problem for general audience, because if there's too much comic book stuff in it, they will not get it. They will not understand, because the audience is stupid.
Isaac, I literally just said, I'm going to stop addressing you, Isaac, because I don't want to stop the show.
Why?
I literally just said I was concerned about Johnny's lack of charisma in the beginning trailers. I hope it gets better. I want him to be good. That is not hating. That is constructive criticism.
To be fair, the new
That's
Johnny
not hating.
Storm. Well, the thing is, okay, first and foremost is the bar you have to compare Johnny Storm to.
Yeah,
Chris Evans was fucking the fast.
That's what I said.
The Human Torch.
Perfect Human Torch for me.
He's a perfect Human Torch. So, like, and what I've seen from the trailers, I agree with Max. Like, dude, Max is right.
I hope it's better.
Dude looks like vanilla
although
pudding and white bread.
The more recent trailers, he's been doing better though.
I see vanilla pudding and white bread. Sorry, dude. It's you don't get any more plain and tasteless than that. Mayonnaise, okay? Mayonnaise is what
I said. I hope it works. I hope in the context of the whole movie.
Human Torch mayonnaise.
You're supposed to judge a trailer on the trailer, not the whole movie, right? When I get to the whole movie, I'll judge the whole movie.
So my argument for this is my opinion of this is, I say it every stream, make your own opinion.
Wait until the movie
you can see that there's harsh criticism on this side of the spectrum, all the way to high praise at the other end. And box office should not matter to anyone, because you're not getting a cut of it. You don't have stocks.
That's bullshit.
What?
Box office, if we are really going to take entertainment talk seriously,
oh my God,
sales and box office are one of the biggest important things we could talk about. And I don't care that it doesn't affect my bank account.
Well, the thing is,
you really think the general audience actually cares about the box office?
We're not general audiences here. We're the
first off, that's
we talk about this every day.
Not a good argument. What we talk about this every day. The reason why box office is important for what we do is that it gives us a way to measure films against other films, and that's pretty much it.
if you follow,
I can see
industry,
people
and
had
whether or not a film's quote unquote success or not. That's it, and it gives you something to talk about for the night.
And the if you've been following movies and entertainment, the thing that greases the wheels the best for these movie universes, that's mainly what we cover is these movie universes, not just singular indie movies, which I'm not opposed.
We talk about one franchise.
Oh, you only talk about superhero movie, Max.
No, I love Star Wars.
Yeah, we never talk about Star
Wars. There's not a lot to talk about.
There's a ton of movies out there that you've been covering and reviewing.
Star Trek universe.
Dude, we could have got into Fallout. That'd have been sweet, but nobody did. It was lame.
So nothing greases the wheels for projects that are in development than the success of the recent project. So, for example, Superman is doing decent. It's not a hit. It's not a failure yet. We have to see, but it's starting to grease the wheels of the next slate. They want to see how things perform.
You guys have been doing when we talk for so long. Do you not realize that they don't look at every individual movie in the year? It's the movie's total gross that
they look at everything, Bruce.
Everything.
They look at the cumulative.
Just because the movie stops making money in the box office, there's VOD, there's merchandise.
That's true. You don't think they have scalable algorithms to see after the first weekend, second weekend, how they're going to do the remaining of the box office, how that's going to translate to VOD? They pretty much know already what they're going to get. It's all important as a cumulative studio, and then an individual movie. They are saying Superman's a success already. It's not, but it's not a failure either. So there's people that cherry pick things and frame it.
It's all about narratives, man.
Yes.
People just using story box office to try to dunk on movies they don't like.
It's like using Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Oh my God, the Rotten Tomatoes score was shit. Okay, yeah, that gives you a reason to bash something. Okay. Yep. Oh my God, the Rotten Tomato score was great. If it goes contrary to what we like, we're like, oh no.
WB paid for the tickets.
Here's the thing about access media. You don't have to pay anyone because there's frothing social media influencers, idiots that are lined up to get access. And I'm not. Yes, they will do it.
You won't line up for access.
No, I'm refusing access. Even not that anyone's lining up to give
refusing access. If they reach out to you,
no, I am no longer going to take access. I have in the past. I'm done with access. I'm done with.
So if Zack Snyder, James Gunn, or Kathleen Kennedy reached out to you and wanted to give you a one-on-one interview on your channel,
interview is different than seeing a movie early.
And then come out and fly you out to see the next project.
Listen,
you would turn down.
Blow me up for this. I kick ass, don't kiss ass. So that would never happen anyway. I don't kiss enough ass.
I have like 5 instances where you kissed ass.
No, I've done it before with a certain console, and it was the biggest mistake of my channel. Right? I am completely transparent. Yes,
Tommy Tellerico.
I was feeling,
oh my God.
I was feeling a little bit iffy for a while on that thing, and I can only criticize them to the point, and it made me conflicted and disgusted. And yes, I admit my mistakes, and that was a big part of the reason that I refuse access. Biggest mistake of my channel.
Yeah, see, really? I don't know. Yes. The best thing to do is to not take a stance on it. Because I guarantee you, if they were to
this is a perfect
a sack of money on your couch and said, "Hey, guess what? You could do YouTube the rest of your life." Yeah, you'd take it in a heartbeat.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. Any of us would. I would. Okay?
Access wouldn't immediately give that to you anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you were to get something like that, you do it in a heartbeat. Like, we all would. Okay, come on. Yeah, no.
Yeah, man, stop.
We all would. It's fine. But no, I get what you're saying though, because there are people that do have access, and
I'm not hating on people with access. That works for certain people. I just like my viewers and my panelists. I like everyone, and I get conflicted easy when I'm talking to people. It's hard. I can't do it. I can't navigate that, so I'm taking my angle is no access. I will refuse access to movies early. Not that anyone's breaking down the door to give me anything.
We got access, Max. We got access.
Yeah.
We got to see a movie early.
Figure drawing has become one of
your for a while too.
Viewers I've ever seen.
I know. I had to unblock him yesterday.
He goes from channel to channel to channel, spreading his conspiracy and bullshit without any proof. He did it all last year with Mark Spears because everyone liked Mark Spears. And he had to say, Mark Spears is doing AI. Bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about. So kick rocks, go over there.
I had to unblock him last night again.
Well, you have to unblock him next week.
Okay. Because the majority of people on the internet are fanboys and they can't get out of their fanboy mind.
That's literally why we're on these things.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I am completely
we are fans
fair.
of what we're doing.
I am completely fair to these projects more than most.
This isn't normal.
I am not
this
for
is what
access,
fans do.
and I am not for hate either. I don't want to hate movies. I get depressed when movies aren't great. Superman wasn't so bad that it depressed me.
Don't care.
But I just was like, oh, I'm not feeling it, and I wanted to give it another shot, and I liked it more. And then people wanted to tell me what to do. Go back. You have to watch it twice before you review. No, I still stand by my first review. But I try to like things better.
Dude, I think you're worried about this stuff too much, man. Mm-hmm. Okay, this isn't like we're not talking about missiles here or anything like that. It's just a goddamn.
That's fine. I take movie talk seriously.
Well, no, okay, you should too, honestly, but to a point. Like this whole oh my gosh, so and so's a liar. It's like, dude. If you're talking to the same damn people every fucking night, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're a liar," then why are you still fucking listening?
Why?
No, don't tell the viewers to leave. Listen, everyone listen.
I'm just saying,
it's not going to impact your channel, Mac. You get most of your views after your show ends. People in the live chat calling you liars and calling you names should not be allowed in your house. I wouldn't let these motherfuckers in my house if they talk bad about me.
I don't care because I don't
hit the road. It's not worth the dollar. The dollar fucking membership is not worth the headaches.
Yes, it is to me.
99 cents. And
no inflation, no tariffs.
I'm going to defend Max for once today.
Oh wow, let me hear this.
Max is allowed to change his opinion on a movie.
Yeah,
I gave him crap the other night. I was just messing with Max. He's allowed to change his opinion of the movie. He wasn't bullied into liking the movie. He wasn't bullied.
But that does happen. That does happen on the internet.
You're a grown man. Someone on the internet can bully you to go out and spend money on a movie you don't like.
Don't listen, if Brian didn't like the Snyder, I'm not saying this happened. If Brian didn't like Zack Snyder's Justice League, there would be people in our fan group that would bully him, like, you don't like it just because of this or that. This does happen. Toxic positivity does happen.
I know. I've watched this fan group fall apart, come back together, and fall apart again.
So it absolutely does happen. So there was fine concerns to feel that I was being, especially by the Perp Boys. Perp Boys are aggressive. Yes. You can't not like this.
I'm sorry. I just can't see soy boys bullying other soy boys.
Talking about ball washers. The biggest industry ball washer is Perp and Crazy Joe.
He's trying to get a job.
This is why you cause problems.
I love you though. Industry ball washers, the Perp Boys. I want to be a topic of your next stream that I'm not going to watch. Perp.
Oh my God!
I love Perp. I love Perp, and he's like, "Why didn't you watch my stream?" I'm like, "Because I'm doing exercising or something," and I'm already on to my next hot take.
All right. Here is something I was talking about.
Voltaire.
Exercise has been getting me. Has been helping my metabolism and testosterone, and everything. And it's working out. Yeah. IT Max.
RJ, you shouldn't call anybody a ball washer. I'm just saying,
hard, bro.
RJ, stop, please, RJ.
I was gonna say, I think James Gunn's balls are pretty soft right now.
I don't ball wash Nintendo either. I have real issues with certain things. No, I do not.
No matter what they do.
Yes, RJ, you ball wash Nintendo too.
The closest ball washing I did for a video game company was Microsoft, and I Phil Spencer. I'm really thinking about canceling my Game Pass.
Really?
I'm done. Even though I love
the whole Steam compatibility thing is going to ruin everything.
I don't care based on them canceling.
You see this? Max needs a mod that gives him the same respect that I get on my shows.
Yeah. I don't. What people say doesn't bother me as long as they don't go personal. You know, I don't believe what people say about me.
Well, I just say like some people should stop taking this shit so seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I did.
RJ, you shine James Gunn's balls till they're golden.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Comment of the night. Samuel, look at this, Voltaire. We just needs to be a topic for Friday night's mic drop. The Perp Boys are industry plants.
See, that is true. That is true, Max. You can't even cancel your Game Pass. My Game Pass is like off.
After you say you're not supporting Xbox?
Because I still want to play Indiana Jones, I started playing the new Doom.
Or one of the people that are enabling this behavior that Microsoft.
I don't buy games new. I don't
same
buy
thing with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, go buy Indiana Jones. It's not new. It's like
I don't want to buy it for $70.
Wow.
Indiana
Jones game is good, huh? You like it?
I didn't start it yet.
Oh, god damn it, Max.
I started Doom Medieval.
I love Indiana Jones game. That Indiana Jones game is amazing, dude. It sucks because nobody here wanted to talk about it or play it. But yeah, I loved it.
Speaking of Mark Spears, what Mark is doing is illegal because it is. I have proof. Yes, someone called up Mark Spears production company, KingSpot, and said Mark Spears was doing illegal stuff, emailed them stuff, and they just ignored the person and laughed. I wonder who that could have been.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy.
That's
not. I'm not the only one in the comic community that thinks it is.
All right.
So anyway, I'm happy Fantastic Four is getting great reviews. Let's get back on topic because
I'm about to time you out. Just move on, please.
There's some more stuff that he wanted to speak about. Yeah. There, Bruce. Right? Like you want to?
Yes. Me and Brian were having a discussion, and
yes, we were.
And we came to a kind of a middle ground with it. I've always said that if you love these characters in film, maybe you should go read a comic book. And Brian's counter argument was,
you don't have to read a comic book when there's YouTube.
Yes,
there
are plenty of great YouTube channels.
There's plenty of research and references for lore.
Yes.
And you don't have to go very far. You don't have to read a book. You could do all kinds of things like that. There's some great channels out there. Comics Explained is one of them.
Yes.
I've used him as a reference many times, especially with the last time I remember it was when I was watching WandaVision because I wanted to know about the House of M and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I found out everything I needed to know about it in a half an hour. I loved it.
This is a consistent criticism that I have with Bruce in his community, which I love and I respect.
But another thing I was going to say, though, honestly, with the movies, 20 movies in, if you've watched every single one of them, you're not a noob. You know what you're talking about. Like, I'm sorry. Like, even with the MCU, it's got a lore of its own.
William, I have no idea what comic book gatekeeping is.
You do. Yes, you do.
Me recommending reading comic books is gatekeeping now. If you enjoy the characters, you can do a little research. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to William. You can reach out to other people that know comic books.
Actually,
and ask questions. I'm not gonna ban you.
No, this is a debate. Actually, you shouldn't. You maybe shouldn't, and you shouldn't have to. And even if you have an opinion, because these are adaptations. Movies are not comic books. They're something different. They're based on comic books. And for an example, one of my biggest issues with Superman is it's too comic booky. And I know it's comic book accurate.
God damn it. Stop saying comic booky. These are goddamn comic book movies.
Just because space monkeys are comic book accurate doesn't make it not effing stupid.
Okay.
Type in hashtags. Okay.
Well,
some of the stuff in comics is stupid. And I'm allowed to say that without reading the comics. Okay, and when you say
exactly,
and for a movie to do its job, if a movie to do its job, something that popcorn movies are mass market, where comic books not all comic books are necessarily mass market. Yes, I am complaining about that. I respect people that know everything about the characters, that read the storylines first.
It's not
Not
about
everything has to be comic accurate, because some stuff does not translate to live action in movies well.
How would you know that if you've never picked up a comic book?
Because the movie should sell it on its own. It shouldn't have to stand on, well, this is from a comic and it makes sense.
I'm not saying you have to read
because comic book.
I'm saying if you enjoy
in a pocket dimension,
I'm saying if you
hashtag super shit, maybe based on comics, but it's still freaking stupid.
But see, here's the deal, though. When you're talking about characters such as Superman, who've been around for almost 100 years, you're talking about Americana. Okay, there's deeper levels to it. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, Superman is an American property as you could possibly get, because it's been so intertwined with this country since its inception.
Well, it was created by Canadians. Just saying.
It doesn't matter. But what I'm getting at is it's a slice of Americana. Okay, if you don't know who Superman is at this point in time, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, same thing with but Marvel at this point. These movies are self-referential. Okay, you don't need to know anything about the comic books to know anything about the MCU, because the MCU is its own thing.
Yes, and sometimes when you say, well, it makes sense in the comic book, it might make sense to you. You're not doing your job.
I've never said it made sense in the comic books. I've said it's been done in the comic books.
Yes,
there's a reference for this. And it's been done before. It's not like it's something new. And I've never said anyone should be forced to read comic book. My words were, if you enjoyed the character, maybe you should pick up a book.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you don't want to pick up a book, there's plenty of YouTubers that go into the lore and go into the explaining. Within 30 minutes, you could learn a lot.
That's an excellent reason. Respect the source material for sure, but where it gets part to the gatekeeping is not accepting normies' opinions because they don't know as much about the character. Like someone say, I don't like space monkeys.
Well, that's different.
That's what nerds do.
That's the nuance we want to provide in this debate.
That's
you don't know because you didn't read the comics. You should read the comics.
That's what nerds do.
Stupid.
It's stupid. It's that nerd superiority.
Yes, thank you, William. I pose it as an extension of what you enjoyed on the screen. Yes, instead of waiting 4 or 5 movies to see your favorite character, or 10 years to see your favorite character again, you can go and pick up a comic book.
I'll say the same thing about Star Wars. Okay, since Lucasfilm and Star Wars did their thing in 2016 or whatever. Okay. Everything has had a book that's come along with it. If you want more lore into Star Wars, pick up those books. I get it. They're long, they're boring, they're books. Dude, I got the audiobooks. Okay. If they did audiobooks for comic books, I would do it all the time.
They do.
Okay. So like I would actually read. I don't like reading. I got like dyslexia, my eyes are messed up. It gets messed up. I can't, it's hard for me to read. So
I have a question from
I don't want to.
I have a question from Nerdy Geek, one of the best YouTubers on Kingdom of Nerds. Was the Mario movie bad because it was too video gaming?
Yes. Sometimes video game adaptations can be bad because of that. Yes. Now the Mario movie was just the vibe it was going for was just fun and Easter eggs, so that didn't hurt it for me.
But Resident Evil, we could talk about that one.
Voice, yeah.
Oh, actually, William, would you like to come on to the Power Hour and discuss this topic with us?
He might be busy. He's
that's right. I forgot he might be in the store.
He's right. He's written.
He might be headed to San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, William, if you're available, if you want to come on and discuss the comic book talk,
let me make this clear. We only have, but I will give this to the comic book OGs and the fans. The only reason you have these movie universes is because people like Bruce and that have collected for years and have supported the industry, and that's the only reason we have these movie universes. So I do respect them.
No, and that's the thing.
But I don't need to do any research to comment on a movie.
I'll send you the link, William.
Yeah. Oh, interview with Bambi Reckoning. That's awesome, man. But yes, I do think fanboys go too far.
Ancillary material is cool. There's nothing wrong with
but it doesn't. It doesn't. You shouldn't have to do it to have an
but opinion. It's not a prerequisite.
And I will say this: most comic book movies aren't. They've never been comic accurate. They're just a amalgamation of various stories and various different versions of characters. I mean, different lore throughout time. So, like I said on my show, I said that Snyderverse was Elseworld. I said Returns was Elseworld. I said anything before now is Elseworld. When this reboots again, this version of Superman will be Elseworlds because we'll have a different director telling and a different writer telling a different story.
That's true.
Well, there's something I've watched, and I saw Mama Bear there. I watched my pal. I don't know if anyone else's pal here.
Oh, Matt's here.
Yeah. Just this name is going to trigger some people in the chat. I watched Skywalker the Jedi the other day. It's something he said that was hilarious.
I'll be right back.
So shout out I still like him. I know. Listen, my problems are not your problems. But something he said that was absolutely freaking hilarious was in they put a nerd in charge of a comic book universe with James Gunn, and he is doing all the weird stuff. And it doesn't work for me. Some of the stuff that was the stuff in Superman, just because it's based on the comics, just because they get the most obscure characters. And that could be a legit criticism to not hiring the biggest fanboy there is. Because I look at James Gunn, I feel like I'm talking to Joe. Joe's like, yeah, this character's great. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds Mr. Mistopic or whatever his name is, Batmite. And he's like, oh, I really want to bring those into live action, but it's too hard. I'm like, God, don't bring these weird ass characters in here. I don't hate them, but it's not going to necessarily work in live action. And that made me lose my shit. So yes, I prefer my jam is adaptations and make it more grounded in real world. Of course, superheroes don't actually exist. Batman doesn't actually exist, but it helps the plausibility if it's a little bit more grounded.
Well, here's the deal.
The man flies. He's an alien.
Okay.
How can you have a grounded story?
Bro, I've seen Grounded.
Towards that. It's a goal.
Okay, here's the deal, Max. We've tried Grounded. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Let's try a different direction. Let's try fun.
No, I understand.
Let's try Goofy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're one movie into Goofy, and you guys are just like, oh my God, it's terrible shit.
No.
We're not talking bad about any content creators. We don't do that here.
No, I enjoy
he was just pointing out something funny that Skywalker
said.
Right. No, I still watch the show occasionally just because I want for the lulls and for the entertainment value. Not that I'm not trying to restore anything. And I thought that was
I like to have fun, dude. I just don't think those movies are fun.
Okay, that's fine.
And I disagree with you.
They were more successful than the current DC movies. They were.
What?
Well,
they were more divisive, though. They were more divisive.
Different atmosphere.
It was a different time
than it was back then.
Your new roles.
We've had COVID. We've had writer's strikes. We've had streaming.
You're getting all these
a large percentage.
Well, here's the deal. How many?
You're giving all these new rules as to why this doesn't need to make certain numbers, which is completely unfair as to why people said the Snyderverse failed.
Why is it unfair?
Who cares?
It's completely unfair.
Was I here for that Snyder talk? I was not.
No, go ahead, Brian.
Okay. Forget about the Snyder stuff. Okay?
I'm not forgetting about nothing.
I
it's
sent
fucking
it to
over. It's done.
I'm sorry. I forgot to press send. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus. But no, dude, what I'm saying is that
I do that all the time.
It was a different time. Okay, how many owners have Warner Brothers gone through since that?
Okay. I'm still allowed to like it and still say I prefer.
But okay, great. But give this a shot.
I am.
To other
he did.
You know, but what I'm saying, God damn it, you guys make this. We're
messing with you, Brian. Go ahead.
I'm not messing with you. I'm answering your questions legit. I've tried to go in. James Gunn is not my initial jam. Sometimes half the James Gunn movies I have to see twice to get into it, and that's what happened with this.
Can you let Brian finish what you were saying?
Dude, I got to see Batman on ice skates, bro, playing hockey with a giant diamond. Okay, like. I got to see, and I think the movie before that, like they had some fucking safe in a wall and a helicopter pulled the safe out. And yeah, it was some pretty stupid, goofy shit.
Yeah. And I don't like that. That's not my jam.
But, bro, I'm sick and tired of
hold
watching.
on. We have someone beaming into the power hour.
Hey, William.
What's up?
Hey.
You getting ready for Comic-Con?
Yeah, I've got to do an interview for Bambi the Reckoning real quick.
That's
and then
awesome.
I go
Oh, yeah.
shopping, and then I get on the plane tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So then I will
So
be
did you have
there.
any issues with anything I said? Or Bruce?
What it all depends. I mean, if you're making a movie, you're making a movie. When I hear somebody say that this movie was comic booky, I want to throw a comic book at them. I really want to throw a comic book at them.
And I'll throw it right back at your ass.
And I just want to because movies are movies and comic books are comic books. They are not the same. Yeah, even if you have something that is inspired by a comic book, at the end of the day, you're making a movie. You absorb a movie differently than you absorb a comic book. So when people say, well, this Superman was pulled right out of the pages of the comics, to me, that's not a positive necessarily. I paid to see a movie. Right. I did not pay. I have comic books. If I want to read a Superman comic book, I can grab many of the ones I got off the wall. When I pay money to go see a movie, that's what I want to see. So I'm a little bit more on that side of it.
Even though get Bill Cosby out of the chat. What the hell? Even though I like Superman more than okay, more than I did the first time. The stuff that I have issues a movie's a movie. I like adaptations, stuff that's it feels like it was just pulled from the comic without any attempt to adapt or ease into the general audiences. It's just like you're just gonna have to go with this shit, or you're not gonna get it, or not gonna like it. It just felt like comic book shit just thrown at you without any translation or adaptation. That's still the issues. Like in the worst part of the movie for me is the pocket universe with all the weird shit, the monkeys on the keyboards. I'm like, this is stupid. That's where I didn't check out.
For me, it was more of not even comic book because I don't even think it was even that, if that's even such a thing. I think
felt like Super Friends almost. Yeah.
Well, it felt more like a cartoon with no stakes for it. Which, like I said, I still gave it a 7 out of 10. But like I said in my review, it was really good, but not great. It was a lot of fun, but not awe-inspiring. I at no point during any of that time was I like, holy shit. I had a lot of fun. I had Fast and Furious fun with this movie, but I didn't have like Mission Impossible awe-inspiring fun at this movie. It's just a different type of movie that he aimed at an audience that's for at least 30% of it, not me. But at the same time, I still had fun with it. I didn't think I wasted my time with it. I don't put it at the top of my superhero or Superman movies. I have it like tied for third, fourth. But it was still, it's his take on Superman. And I can respect that.
Yeah. Okay. And I like it. I enjoy it more as a prequel to the new Justice League or Justice League International, which I think is what he's doing. I think that's what James Gunn's doing next, because he did an interview with Josh Horowitz where he said it's not World Finest that I'm working on. He said I was working on The Authority, so it's not that. I think this is pretty much, we kind of know that he wants to do Justice League International the way
that's where he's probably. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I knew coming into this universe, it's gonna be a la carte for me. I don't feel any need to absorb all this universe because I can see where he's going. He's made a preferential decision to go JLI. I love Keith Giffen. I think he rest in peace, one of the greatest creators of all time. But he created two things that I have no stomach for ever, period. And when I saw those two things headed to on comics, I got my quarter bin ready. Justice League International is garbage to me. I fucking hate that run of books. All right, I love Keith Giffen and all, but what he did on Legion of Superheroes is stands up 40 years later. Him, Al Gordon, him, all those guys that worked on that book. But that same guy did Justice League International, and to me, that's a conspiracy. So
shout out to Crazy Joe. That's what comic he loves the most. And I think, and when I think of James Gunn, I think of Joe. I'm like, you were like-minded, bro.
Yeah,
I think that's James Gunn's jam. Yes.
When I was collecting comics and I saw JLI type stuff going on in JLA, I knew the book was either about to get canceled or it was about to start sucking. When I saw Green Lanterns get switched out and here comes Guy Gardner, that's when I knew it was time to put that book down because it was probably on its way out or stop ordering it, one of the two. So yeah, but that's a preference. That's a preference. That doesn't mean JLI is bad. I just can't stand JLI. So if he's chosen that, that's great. There's going to be other things in this universe that I think are worthwhile. Lanterns is not going to be. If you had a problem with tone and Superman, Damon Lindelof is not doing what you saw in Superman.
Yeah.
Damon Lindelof and Tom, they're not doing that. They would not have signed on for something like that. So
I prefer
you're right, because there's going to be different tones and different aspects of this new universe that you're able to pick and choose what you consume and what you watch and what you dislike. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone has watched every show from the MCU or watched every movie, but they still enjoy what they have watched.
And great news. Something that is actually surprised me is, listen, everyone, if you're not sold on Superman, James Gunn is not the director or the writer linked to the most DCU projects right now. It's Anna Nogueira with Supergirl, Teen Titans, and now Wonder Woman. So there may be a different vibe in those projects. And that's why I said I was looking forward to Supergirl the most. And honestly, James Gunn, I really like. I'm a fan of James Gunn, but I prefer when he does stuff like Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. Brian knows I love Peacemaker. And he announced on the 24th they're going to do a thing on HBO Max, watch along with Easter eggs, and I want to rewatch it then. So that is where I love James Gunn and that type of character and environment.
I think James Gunn is capable of doing anything. I don't think he's limited to a genre. Just because that's what he's done doesn't mean. I think James Gunn could pull out a Scorsese or Coppola as much as any other director. We as fans limit our imagination to what we've seen him do. And I always reference Jonathan Demme. Jonathan Demme did Married to the Mob and then turned around and did one of the great horrors of all time in Silence of the Lambs. So it's what inspires him.
I disagree. I think he's. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was watching your show. I forgot what show it was, William, and you said something that I've been thinking about. A lot of people have said that they can't fit Batman to this universe with Superman, and you said that is only limited. The creator's imagination isn't limited. Fans' imaginations are limited.
Yeah, that's why we're fans.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's why we're fans.
I completely disagree with you, William. I don't think. I think James Gunn is very talented and he's got a vibe. But maybe I have to go back and watch Slither or some of the
No. See, that's where you're making the mistake.
I don't think he's a Scorsese or something like that.
Well, what I'm telling you is you're using. I don't think
he's shown the other side of him.
He doesn't have to. See, there's a problem. A storyteller is a storyteller, period.
Yeah.
You're using references of things that just because what you've seen. That is what has been asked of him. That is what has been demanded of him. That is what he was hired to do. That is not saying that somebody else who knows what storytelling is, and that's generally not fans at that level, casting people, producers, people who have sat with these people who have asked the question, James Gunn, if I gave you this, what would you do? And got answers from him. Those aren't fans. So those people see it as a storyteller. We view it through the lens of, because that's all we're capable of, is looking at through the lens of what we've seen. A producer or a studio head is going to look at that person as raw talent and figure out, just like Jonathan Demme and some of the stuff he did, who would have looked at him and said, that guy can direct Anthony Hopkins. Who would have looked at Heath Ledger and saw some of the body of his work and saw the Joker? See, fans are not always capable of doing that. That's the luxury of being a fan. We're not qualified. We're not qualified to make that kind of reference. But that doesn't mean that kind of decision can't be made.
No, I remember when they first cast Heath Ledger, I was like, "What the fuck? He's going to be the Joker? I mean, how is he going to be better than Jack Nicholson? What the because that's how I was." And this is what 2008.
I think James Gunn is extremely talented. I don't see any glimpse of something in that level from him, other projects.
And from where you sit, that's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
From us on this little YouTube screen, that's fine. Yeah. That doesn't make that true, though. That doesn't make that
true.
You're right.
It's just my prediction and my opinion. But I said I do want to go back and watch Slither. I've heard that's a great movie, and that's not anything like that's horror.
I think
that. Yeah.
But you're excluding the fact that I could walk up and say, James Gunn, I need you to do something you've never done before. And if you're a storyteller, if you're at that level and you've made movies, nothing he's done in the past should be referenced to what he can do in the future. Period. Wipe all that clean. A storyteller is a storyteller. Period. You know, most people
I don't even see a gem of something like he could go outside of his jam of.
Like I said, I just gave you. I didn't see. Go look at Jonathan Demme's career. Find me anything that's Silence of the Lambs in there.
Okay.
You won't be able to do it because, like I said, we're not me, and I include myself into this. We are not qualified to make that assessment.
I'm going to push you back here because some of us that were wanting Superman to be amazing, I thought all the criticisms, like, and you're all going to cringe when I say this, the jokey jokes and stuff. I'm like, James Gunn's not going to do that with Superman, but he kind of did. So people that kept an open mind and thought that James Gunn was going to do something different with Superman, it feels like a lot of James Gunn to me.
I don't think
he really did anything
felt
different
like a safe composite because you got to realize Superman fans, and I hate to say this because it's the genre I'm in, are some of the worst fans out there. Not all of them, but
you're not wrong.
And I say that as somebody who looked at old Trek fan in the Civil War.
That's what I was going to say. I talk about Trek like this, William, all the time. I bring it up because it's like, guys, we ruined our own property. Like, listen to me.
We literally, old Trek fan literally choked the life out of Trek, and it took everybody. It took shocking moves to unleash that. But if you're trying to make a foundation for a movie, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be wide pleasing enough for you to get enough people under the tent, and then you can tell them where to go from there. This movie wasn't perfect because it couldn't be, because you had to bring in the people who have that composite Superman in their head that doesn't exist anywhere but between their ears. He has to please them. He has to please the traditional people who have a recognizable sense of what Superman is. This movie wasn't going to be any deeper in depth than it was because it was a first step. Now, 3 or 4 movies in, when you have the credibility of it, then he can start doing some more in-depth things of it. But this movie was basic, it was safe, and it was fun. That's all it really was.
Maybe that's why he played it so safe.
And
with
that's
Superman.
all it needs to be.
Or a launching pad for the Justice League International that we all know he wants
I will say this. None of us, including the panel, viewers, are in these meetings. We're not in the creative room.
I don't want to be.
We don't know what's going on, what is said, what is being asked of James Gunn. We just get to see the after effect of these meetings and these creative talks. So it just baffles me that you're blaming one person. If you want to blame someone, blame the top. Blame Zaslav. This is what he requested. If you didn't like this,
I definitely blame Zaslav.
Blame Zaslav. Yeah. Everybody else is just workers.
Yeah.
That whole rock thing was ridiculous. That's where we put on the costume of a fan with a big fan hat on.
I hate how they demonize The Rock.
When you're talking about
back the shit out of it, though.
Yeah, I'm like, I never blame middle management. I never blame the worker. If something goes south, when anything I'm doing today, I'm going straight to the boss.
No, that's where the boss. James Gunn, I'm not dismissing what he said, but I said it's really uncool that he's giving one side of what happened there. At that time, The Rock was trying to rebuild the DCU within the constraints of what they had. He was working with Pam Abdi, Mike DeLuca, and Zaslav, and he was trying to go for it, and people want to demonize him for it, and I cannot stand that.
Well,
he showed up in costume at Comic-Con. He was trying to give as much hype as he can. What else did you want him to do? Promote his movie and go for Superman, go for the top. And then it failed. But now people want to demonize him for that? Well, that's not his fault. Tried to get a deal done with him and Cavill. They've been trying to get a deal for that for years, and he tried to make it happen.
The problem is while you're having a conversation with James Gunn, you have Abdi and DeLuca. All of these people are your employees, so nobody picked up the phone and said, "Hey, halt! We're about
Warner
to get
Brothers
this done."
Always pits each other against each other and let's like sharks and see who rises to the top.
And Black Adam being a failure. I looked at some of the movies that came out in the Hamada regime. I don't know. I guess we're not using math anymore because that wasn't the worst thing. The problem wasn't Black Adam. The problem, or Dwayne Rock Johnson, Black Adam had the same problem as Blue Beetle. People don't want to hear this, especially geeks.
A defunct universe.
Nobody fucking cares about your C-listers if you haven't made a plan for your A-listers. If I got to go look in the witness protection program for Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I don't want to see Blue Beetle. I don't want to see Harley Quinn. I don't want to see Shazam. I don't want to see Black Adam. If you can't answer me where the A-listers are, then you need to get out on my face with C, D, and Z. I just can't do it.
On that point, I love Mr. Terrific. They recently did a copyright for him. I want to see him in a project. I don't think people will say, well, maybe the sequel to Superman should be Mr. Terrific. I think that's the biggest mistake I've ever heard.
Biggest difference.
I think he should be because I don't think he's an A-lister. I think he's really cool.
Well, they did the copyright for a movie, TV, all types of properties. That doesn't mean it.
Yeah, but I think it's a mistake. If
you could bring in,
I don't think they are. I think that's just Gunn fanboys wanting. Oh, now Mr. Terrific's the next movie. No,
you could do a movie about Robot Number 4, and it may work. You know why? Because guess what? I don't have to ask you.
Well, that's
where
Brainiac,
the fuck is Superman? Where the fuck is Superman? You've brought this in, and there's Superman.
Here's Mr. Terrific.
There's Green Lantern. I'm not having to answer the question. Are you substituting this C-list shit because you can't give me an A-lister? I don't have that answer now. You started out with the A-lister. So now you use your A-listers to support everything else. You don't do what they did before and replace your A-listers with Z-listers, and people are just not going to go see. I mean, you could have the biggest star in the world. If people don't connect with the IP, they're not going to go. I'm surprised Black Adam made as much as it did, because I had more people. When I was wearing my shirt, I had more people that look at that emblem that I'm wearing and say the Flash than they say Black Adam or Shazam.
Yeah. To be fair, I watched William for a while. I think you always, even before it came out, said, why are they trying to make Black Adam a AAA? It's not going to work. I think you said that.
I'm a huge fan of Black Adam when he was in the JSA run, but even I knew that bringing him to big screen is. The normal person will not know who this character is. There's no connection that was going to be made with this character.
And then they use the Guardians of the Galaxy. People use they did it with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, was the 8th or 9th movies after they had made a couple of billion-dollar movies, after Avengers 2012, after they had made their case to keep you coming back to the MCU. Then they gave you the talking raccoon. Then they gave you the talking tree. If they'd have come in there with movie number 1, no Iron Man, just movie number 1, I got a talking tree and a talking raccoon, that person's going to be escorted out by security. So you have to have the A-listers. The A-listers are what drives. That's what gets people to the movie theaters. That's why he didn't start with a B-listers. There are B-listers in his movie, but they're all in that sunlight that Superman provides. Same thing with Batman.
I got to correct 99% link. The Rock wanted to do Black Adam versus Superman before Shazam was even in it. He was developing that movie, and
I still want to see that, by the way.
And part of the script you could tell has been there since the very beginning of before there was BVS. He was talking about doing Black Adam versus Superman. So when people complain that The Rock didn't want to work with the lamest actor in the business, Zachary Levi, as Shazam, I don't blame him either, because he was developing Black Adam before Shazam even became a thing. I know in the comics they should interact, but I don't care. He was trying to get that done. That was his goal from day one. When he, 10 years ago, when he signed on to be Black Adam, when it first started, that was the goal, to go Black Adam versus Superman. And then Zachary Levi comes on and is the cringiest superhero ever.
He had a good first movie. The problem is once again, I love the first Shazam movie. But before you start giving, people get mad at me because I say certain movies should never make, but I'm fucking right. Because you know what? Fury of the Gods, why are you making Fury of the Gods based on Shazam's box office? There's no way that should work. And B, once again, if you're going to give the general audience a guy in a cape with an emblem on his chest and it's not an S, you now have to answer that question again. And if you can't answer it, the average Joe, not the geek, the average Joe is you're just going to drift away. You're no longer, you're white noise now. And it becomes complicated when so many other things to do with your dollar are really easy. DC made themselves a hard puzzle, and it's just like, where's Batman? Where's Superman? A fucking 4-year-old can come ask you those questions, and if you don't have an answer, you're not going to have a moviegoer. So that's what they did towards the end. There is they just gave you too many Z-listers without the support of their A-listers. Marvel doesn't do that, and when Marvel does do that, that's where they wane. When you don't have a big infinity, there's no comic book fatigue. That's bullshit. There's Z-lister fatigue. There's mediocrity fatigue. That's what that is.
Yeah, well, when the Justice League and the failures there, the Solo and Justice League were two of the most expensive movies ever developed in Hollywood and the biggest failures because they basically did the budget twice. Then they were afraid to use the Justice League name. They basically tried to make a group, it wasn't really a Black Adam film. It was the Justice League or Justice Society movie. And they keep doing these groups of superheroes, but they were afraid to use the Justice League name. So that's on Warner Bros. Yeah, they made their biggest IP toxic, right? Besides Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League is a huge name like the Avengers, and they were afraid to use it. That's on them.
That's when you lose your job. See, those guys, that's the problem is in any other workforce, when you do things that those guys did and you don't have a hierarchy to answer to, or a hierarchy that knows what they're doing, you keep your job for a lot longer. Hamada was never the right hire for that job. He wasn't a bad person, I don't think, but he just was never a right hire for that job. Sarnoff and Emmerich, they were basic film execs, but you needed somebody who understood the IP and give Zaslav credit. He's fucked up so many other things, but the two things he did right were to appoint a studio head, and B, when this movie came out, regardless to what the outcome was, when people were, when some of the reviews were out, he stood behind his filmmaker. He stood behind his studio head. That never happened during the DC era from 2013 all the way up until 2022.
Yeah. And I think another smart move they did was separating DC Studios from the whole Warner Brothers thing and making James Gunn a studio head and letting him do what he has to do without any pushback from multiple layers of management.
I don't think there's zero pushback from management. I think there's still
I didn't say zero. I'm some middle management. Yeah. He answers directly to Zaslav.
I think more than Zaslav too. I think they do want him to do Wonder Woman instead of like the Authority. I don't think it was just because it wasn't working. I think
here's the thing though.
Wonder Woman. They want stuff like that. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they want though. When he signed on to be studio head, there are certain assurances that he got that normal people weren't going to have. So when Zaslav says, "I want you to be my studio head," then James Gunn and Peter Safran got with their lawyers and they set the parameters. Okay, we're guaranteed this. We're guaranteed autonomy here, here, and here. You sign your initials here, and once that's signed, that's what it is. So at that point, Zaslav has handed over most of that control over to him. There are certain
pressure him. They can still pressure him, but he has the okay. I decided. Yeah.
He can suggest, and then James Gunn said he can pull out that contract and say, "Well, we suggested you sign here, and you did."
If you go that far, yeah.
So I don't think it's going to get to that point because Zaslav understands at this point, especially after the whole Black Adam thing, he knows what he knows and he doesn't know what he doesn't know. I don't see him interfering today. He's not even a filmmaker. Remember, he came over from. He's not a studio head. He came over from a group of cable networks. So he really doesn't know how to run a high-end studio like this. So he's actually the least experienced person in the room when you're talking about this. I don't see him interfering on that level. I think these decisions are going to be James Gunn's.
Ultimately, it's James Gunn's decision. I just think that the studios and the people above him are going to strongly suggest and pressure him to do this, and I do think it wasn't just because the Authority wasn't working as a script that you're getting that.
Okay, well, once again, they can strongly suggest
based on what you said, not C-listers, A-listers, like the Authority. That's not a big sell.
That's not a big sell, but if you so the difference. They signed. He's contracted, so once again, it's not going to matter what they suggest at this point, unless they want him to walk and they still pay him, which will be a lot of fun for them. But you're bringing in the Authority with Superman there. Yes. You're bringing in all these things after you've established you have a working and live Superman. The difference between what they were doing it before under the previous regime is under those guys, the Authority would have been brought in as a replacement for an A-lister. Here, everything that's coming in is in support of the Trinity, in support of the A-listers. Yes. That's a big difference in structure. So, and like I said, they don't take these jobs without certain assurances because it's a waste of their time.
All right. I just got a message from my mom. When you cut my grass?
Like William said, the Authority, DC just did a Superman Authority comic a few years ago, and that could be around Superman, not just focused on them replacing something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I said. This is you really can't make the comparisons to the previous regime and the previous stuff that came out because, like I said, like you guys said, the world is different, finances are different. This isn't. I don't think this is a $700 million movie. I never thought this movie was that. If it breaks 500 million, they should be popping corks on champagne. Given the circumstances and given the last 3 or 4 movies, given the lack of attention people have been paying to the DC brand, 500 million is masterpiece money when you consider all things. But as far as like comparing it to Man of Steel, stupid shit like that, it's not 2013. The world is a much shittier place with much shittier leadership across the globe. People are in dire straits. People are 5 years post-pandemic. People are a lot broker than they were back in 2013 on all levels, on all demographics. The same people who were making a certain amount of wage in 2013 are probably coming into that same wage under another generation. So your business model is not what it was in 2013. Plus, you have streaming. So you have that option. If you can only afford to entertain the family for one night and you got to choose between one or the other, then the one that's probably going to come on streaming in late August is probably going to be the one that takes the back seat. So that rewatchability goes down. So there are a lot of business aspects that this movie is probably going to make what it makes. Do I think Man of Steel is better? Yeah, I am a sci-fi guy.
Superman movie, yeah.
It's a better movie. I am a sci-fi guy before I was anything else. So that's a preferential thing. That's why I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. I like sci-fi, not sci-fantasy as much as the other. It's just a difference of a preference. If you like the fantasy lore, the cartoony lore, this movie is a top 10 for you. It's 10 out of 10.
That's why I give it a 10 out of 10 because that's my world. That's what I love about comics. Not everyone shares that sentiment, and that's okay. We all exist in the same sphere of nerddom. We can have different opinions. We don't have to shit on one project to lift up the other project.
Stop using hope and optimism as a trigger word. I want to mute those words because I got people using, it's so hopeful and optimism. You're telling me what I hear is that you just weren't paying attention during any of the Superman movies you watched. I mean, what are you talking about? To certain degrees, each and every one of these movies had all of that stuff. It's just people just want to remember what makes them feel good, which is fine, I guess.
And let me say this, Max. A lot of people aren't going to go to the movies to see these Superman Fantastic Four. They're going to wait till it hits VOD so they can pay that $25 for their whole family to sit there and watch it.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's a bargain.
And William said the other night, just because the box office stops counting money doesn't mean the studio stops counting money. They still continue to count money as long as the movie's making money afterwards.
Yeah, they're going to be there. You don't stop counting the money until the money stops being made. So we're fixated on the box office. The box office is where the studios make the least yield because they're giving up 35% minimum right off the top. And then if somebody's a star in a movie, they get first dollar. If a director's a big name director like a Nolan, they get first dollar. So before you get that prime rib, that's all the way at the end of your table. If before it gets to you, a whole bunch of greedy fucks have picked off of it and chewed off of it, and you get something else. You get the bones, you get the scarf. So when it gets close to PVOD, which most of these studios own a majority stake in, they get a higher yield in their money. Then it goes back to their streamer, which they get a lot of value because if I don't need to make a bunch of money per unit, but if Superman comes on HBO Max and that's your reason for retaining, just magnify that. If you make $1 billion a month on your streaming service, if you have a certain amount of streamers, there's no film out there that's going to give you the type of money and volume that your streaming service is going to get once you get it to a certain beam. And retention is key. Not growth necessarily. Yes. Keeping you subscribed to one of these streaming services is paramount because that's money I can take back to the stockholders and say, yeah, we didn't grow to $2 billion a month, but we held at 1.5. So your money is safe. Why don't you put in some more? So there's value in it beyond the box office. And I think that's where, but that's where a lot of our mindset stops. We look at these box office numbers and think, well, this is a bomb. This didn't do well here. And then there's an accountant somewhere in the studio laughing at all of us,
Yes.
All right.
No, I just realized if Bruce and William did the Power Hour, I could just sit back here and relax for an hour.
What?
Yeah, I talk too much. I'm sorry.
No, you're great. I could. Someone super chat me too, so I could just make money off you great guys.
Jeez, get out of here. Dude, Max Gunn making money off his friends again. Get out of here.
I wish I would.
I got my director. He's in my other screen right now, so thanks for having me on. I will talk to you guys.
Have a good night.
Comic-Con.
Have fun at SCC.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to respond to John D.
Why? Why?
You'll see.
What are you doing? This is not how professional. You think Campia does this? Stops his show to talk to trolls in your chat? No. So, all right. One thing I wanted to bring up.
I would love that. I would love that.
Oh my God, I can't with you today. You can't. This is why I do my own show and have my own panelists, because we ignore that stuff.
That's fun. That's just not.
It's not fun.
I would totally vote for them.
All right. I've been saying, and Degrassi's been saying for a while that
hi Degrassi, love you, bro.
He left. He gave a like on my channel and left.
I know. Are you sure it wasn't mine? Are you sure it wasn't
I'm
mine?
very sure it wasn't yours. We have Degrassi's been saying, I've been saying that the DCU, a lot of people complained about 2 Batmans. That doesn't work. The audience is stupid. Dick Grayson, like I said, Dick Grayson will be the Batman in DC. And here's more evidence. Batman is restarting in a few months with issue number 1. And they're changing the colors of Batman's costume. He's getting a new costume, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a cover comic right there.
That's going to be a cover of a comic.
I really like that comic. If you could get me an extra one, I would love it.
What colors?
I love that.
What colors does that match? Nightwing's costume.
Yeah.
And you look at the faces; they're different under the cowl.
I would love this as a poster. I love the 2 versions of Batman, like right down. That's beautiful art. I love it. So I could put it on the wall.
You'll never read it. What's the point?
I might read that one.
Thank you, Nerdy. Nerdy is the #1 YouTuber. Check out Nerdy Geek on YouTube. Get him to 100 subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Should we call it a day soon? Because I am going to exercise after the stream. I'm approaching 100 pounds lost. But it's really hard to get there. I'm not there yet. So
good job, man.
It's really I love exercising now. And the way I did it, I had my whole room set up with all these TVs to watch movies. I can't do. The only thing gets me motivated is music. I should go get a Black Sabbath CD at the resale shop and get some of that. And then it's although it's going to be hard to get it now. I better go quick, get some CDs, albums, and rock out to Ozzy while exercising. Yeah.
But please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. We got a little derailed today. We should have been talking about Fantastic Four the whole time. But Max being Max,
don't worry, everyone. The most unbiased and brutally honest reviewer will be back on Thursday for a review straight out of the theater. The most unbiased. I'm striving for it. No access, no hate. Not access to hate.
Yeah, like you'll turn down access from KK, Gunn, or Snyder, or any other
director. The one that would be the hardest would be KK, because I would want to ask her some questions, but she would never talk to me. And yes, it triggers fools as well. And I don't care what you believe. I believe it. I'm the most unbiased. So I am enjoying reviews, and I can't wait to see Fantastic Four. And I hope I like it. And I hope Johnny Storm isn't milquetoast.
Exactly. You don't know. You have no basis to call it a flop outside your fifis. Thanks for playing. Tea time. Mm-hmm. Purple, you going live?
Isaac, I love you too, bro. He said good night to Brian and Bruce, but not me? Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Dude. I'm gonna go go subscribe to Isaac. I love you, bro. I need to get you on a panel again for a member stream or
I
something.
don't think he wants to be on a panel with you anymore.
Don't say that. We could have fun.
You disappointing a lot of your viewers.
Why are you doing that, Bruce? Why are you doing that? If they're just opinions. If you're real, listen. I'm sorry if I keep blowing myself up. But
yeah, you do. This is not a one-man show. This is not a solo stream. It's very disrespectful.
If I am incorrect, let me have my bad opinion. And my bad opinion does not affect box office. If I am totally incorrect and my opinion's bad, let it be that way and don't take it personally. And if your opinion's right, then it will succeed. Right? And I don't impact anything.
And just remember, we're all better than our failures. So just don't get depressed out there. It's only movies. Don't let it affect you personally. No director's doing this to personally assault your feelings or the characters you love. So don't take it personal. And shout out to Mark Spears for doing amazing art on covers. Mark Spears, the artist of 2024 and 2025.
Totally not a Mark Spears fanboy. Totally not.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. The 1,000 Mark Spears covers that I have, not a fanboy.
No. All right. Thanks for joining us, Brian. I love you, Brian.
There we go.
Always happy to come back here.
Yeah. I do think you should watch maybe when it comes to VOD, we'll do a watch party, Superman watch party.
And shout out to Little Movie Perp.
Nah, I don't want to shout out.
Every other week I will be doing the Power Hour with Perp, then Max, then Perp, then Max.
No, what is this bullshit? The Perp boys trying to infiltrate my show? Hell no.
Your show. I made this show.
Our show. I mean, our show.
I'm the executive producer.
I'm the graphic designer. I'd rather have Douche Grassi than that.
Oh, man.
Hey, don't talk about my buddy.
I'm just trying to appear on my channel again. No, we'll see. Well, yeah, really great to me.
Let's get out of here because you're going to annoy me, and then I'm going to have to put you in timeout again.